booties for black girl nerds.
For you guys.
Good afternoon.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I will do my best.
You
to
have the best
compose
background
myself.
of any interviewer we've had. We're just staring at your background. I'm seeing a skateboard.
Oh,
I'm seeing.
thank
and all color coordinated. I like that. It's very OCD there.
Let's talk about your background.
I worked very hard at it, so I appreciate it.
It's real too. That's not that's not one of those fake backgrounds.
It's not. It's my real office background.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
And I'm gonna do my best to compose myself during this interview because I'm a huge X-Files fan and I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. So yes.
Good luck.
So David, I'm gonna start with you. Jamie Tanner, he walks a fine line between likability and moral ambiguity. How did you decide which traits to emphasize to keep the audience invested?
I think probably the moral ambiguity, because that was furthest from me in a sense, to try to figure out who this guy is and his kind of confidence that he moves through the world with. So the other stuff, the questioning and the vulnerability, that's probably more natural to me. So I was attracted to kind of move towards the confidence and the certainty.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And in Carice, for you, Malice, it balances dark humor with suspense. How did you find the right emotional tone for Nat in those really intense moments?
Wow. Oh shit, the time's ticking. Time's ticking. How did I find those moments? Oh, this is... help me.
Carice is very conscientious about it. I mean, I wasn't like part of the conversations, but I could see her having the conversations with Mike Barker, our director. So, there were ways in the more intense scenes I could see her working her way through it. And I think we both work similar, that we work our way through scenes and kind of discover what it is as we go along. But I could see her being very, very aware of the different avenues that she could go down. Is that kind of the question that was asked?
Thank you. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say, but the words didn't come.
You were meant to be scene partners together on this series. I can see it.
Clearly.
David, were there aspects of Jamie that you related? Were there aspects of Jamie that you related?
She's accusing me of not being able to speak French, and I'm
dropping French words here and there and everything.
And I can't.
Oh, really?
But go ahead. What was your question?
Go
Sorry.
for it.
It's your time.
No worries. Were there aspects of Jamie that you related to personally, or did you approach him as someone like completely different from yourself?
Well, both. I mean, you have to find what's in you that matches up with the character, so you can play it, honestly. You highlight certain aspects of yourself and let other aspects of yourself kind of recede. That's a bit of the game that you're playing. So, yeah. And the rest, I guess, you have to make up at some point. But
it's funny what you said just before about, like a very confident character. Because, for example, in Game of Thrones, I played this uber confident character, and I was like, that becomes boring if there's no cracks in it, because I don't know where to pull from. That for me also was like all the other stuff, all the sort of uncertainties and flaws. That's something that is very close to me, but the certainty is a challenge for not an innocent, for a vulnerable person, for a personality, or for a sensitive personality. So
you think that would be the easiest thing to play?
No, it's hard because you don't know where to draw from. Where the hell do I get that confidence
and then you're
from?
just like, I'm full of shit.
And then it's great when that breaks down. When that's just the great moments to play.
And that's really what makes a character really compelling. And you guys did such a great job with this series. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to Black Girl Nerds. I appreciate the conversation.
Is that a water fountain over there?
No water fountain in this room.
What's the green thing over to the side?
Oh, it's a plant.
Oh, it's a plant.
What's a plant in French?
It's a plant. She's barely surviving, but she's alive.
Does it make sense that I think it might be a water fountain from this far away?
Maybe because she's kind of bending
No,
maybe
but it's
maybe
it's
think of.
just the shape of the thing coming out of the wall for me.
Oh, yeah, maybe so. Maybe
Okay.
it's
My
maybe the
eyes
way
aren't
the
so
pot
good.
is
I
set
didn't even
up.
see a green thing sticking out of
All
anything.
right.
But okay,
All right.
sorry.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me. I appreciate it.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So, Jack, I'm going to start with you. Adam Healey is quite different from the comedic roles that fans know you from, and obviously associate you with. What drew you to this character, and how did you approach playing someone with more darker and complex layers?
I mean, yeah, it's very different to anything that I've done before, but it's exactly the kind of challenge that you hope to have as an actor, is being able to find a part like this that, you know, is really challenging, and it made me, you know, excited to go to work every day. I was kind of, you know, nervous and had moments of feeling a little bit of imposter syndrome, but fortunately, like, I was surrounded by this incredible creative team headed up by James, and really loved being able to, like, craft this properly villainous performance that sits at the heart of the show.
You look like you were having a lot of fun with this character as well. And James, for you, where did the initial idea for Malice come from, and what inspired you to explore this central mystery?
Well, it was sort of built for Jack very early on, but myself and my producing friends Tim and Imogen, we had a meeting, and for some reason, all three of us bizarrely knew families who just had a male nanny, a manny, and it had really affected the family dynamics in those homes. And we were aware of, you know, nanny thrillers. It's like a little mini genre, and he thought, well, can we refresh that story by putting a man in it? And if you were to put a man in it, there's no one better than Jack to play that role, because you would really believe that the family would be sort of seduced by him, because he's in many ways the perfect Manny. Funny, charming, great with the kids, skilled at all these things. And yet what would be really exciting is to see Jack, I think for the first time really, play someone with a dark, empty soul and out for vengeance. And then it was just huge fun plotting a sort of a revenge story that isn't a whodunit, obviously, but it's a why does he hate this family so much? And that's huge fun to sort of plot. So it was a very enjoyable process.
It's good to see the male, like the Manny perspective, because you always see kind of like the woman kind of roles, like, you know, the hand that rocks the cradle, like those type of movies and even shows of the past. So it's good to kind of see this perspective on this show, Malice. And Jack, back to you. Beneath the mystery and the suspense, what do you think Malice is ultimately saying about guilt, truth, or redemption?
I think what's great is that there's a lot of nuance in the writing and in the arcs of all of the characters. So even with Adam, he is someone that is out for revenge, but, you know, I think as a character he's really complex, and because we're afforded the time over the like 6 hours to really dig into like what his core wound is, he's presented as someone that is both like a perpetrator and a victim. And so I think there are moments where you do feel sympathy for him, and even the final kind of beat of the entire series, you're not quite sure how to feel about this character that maybe in, you know, another show or in another movie could be quite one-dimensional. And that's the great joy of James's writing, is that there's like so much depth to all of the characters.
Yeah, hopefully sometimes you're scared by Adam, sometimes you feel pity for him, sometimes you're amused by him, sometimes he's a victim, yeah. And the same with David Duchovny's character. Hopefully sometimes he seems like a bullying, arrogant financial man, and other times he's witty and charming and capable of real generosity and vulnerability. So I was very keen that the psychology of the family and Adams felt as complicated as we could make it.
I mean, that's a testament to really good writing when you feel very conflicted over a character and there's all of these gray areas, that they're morally ambiguous with their beliefs, whether it's good or bad, or that, you know, you just can't quite pinpoint, you know, what kind of person these people are. And I
Well, if you
absolutely
felt
love
that,
that.
that's great.
Yeah, I certainly did. with all of these characters. Well, they are giving me the wrap, but thank you guys so much for taking the time to speak to Black Girl Nerds. I really appreciate the conversation.
Nice to
Yeah,
meet you.
thank you. So nice to meet you.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Awesome. Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you, Jamie? Have we met before?
Yeah, we met at the Hijack Junket in London. Yes.
Thought so. Yeah. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me. I really appreciate it. This was a fun ride watching this series. Christine, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah.
Building a rapport and chemistry with your scene partner is everything. And Jules, she has some complex relationships with several key characters in this series. So how did you approach building chemistry on set?
I mean, obviously, when I knew that Carice was playing the part, I reached out to her and I said, let's spend some time together and hang out. So we had
And she said no.
And she said not interested actually, which actually would be a very Nat thing to do.
Yeah.
No, so we got to have a couple of meals together and some coffees, and then obviously one of the nice things about going away on a location is that you're kind of all thrown together anyway, so you can kind of build that rapport, and also Carice is a very surprisingly fun, naughty person, which I think a lot of people don't quite realise. So really good fun, really into music, and I really sort of believed that they had this long-standing relationship, which I think is in the writing, but also again not without its problems. I think there's always been that sort of element of competition between them as well, which is quite interesting and feels quite real, really. I think there is a respect and a love, but I think there's also a little bit of maybe jealousy and a bit of sort of competition. So lots of things to play with there.
But it's brilliant casting because you two were genuinely making each other laugh.
Yeah,
a lot
definitely.
On set, which is lovely. That's
yeah,
good casting.
definitely.
Absolutely. And Raza, for you, Damien's motivations are sometimes hidden. How did you prepare for scenes where his intentions aren't fully clear?
I don't think Damien has a clue what's going on either, to himself, So actually playing a character who is just slightly checked out and doesn't have all the answers it's a lot of fun. I've played a lot of spies in the last few years, been in that espionage world where it's a lot of kind of tracking things down and thinking about things and very stern scenes. So actually playing a character who's just a bit more checked out and laid back and really doesn't care that much about the situation, there's real fun in that, and hopefully some of that comes across because it was fun having that kind of banter with this one, and with David as well. It's some of those scenes were fun to shoot.
Absolutely. You guys look like you were having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Christine, Jules has a really strong presence. How did you use body language, gestures, or even subtle cues to convey authority or mystery?
Oh,
She's
very
Christine
good
Adams.
question. Yeah,
She conveys authority and mystery. That's who she is.
Presence, yeah. I mean, I think, what's interesting about the show is what the audience know versus what we know as the players.
Yes.
So what the tension is never telegraphing what's happening. So obviously we've read the script, we know what's coming down the line, but what you're trying to constantly do is never play your hand in any scene, because if at any point you play that what's coming, then it gives it away. So I think what's fun about the show is the audience get to be the detectives, and they're the ones that get to kind of put the puzzle together, and we just are sort of, I guess, the pieces within the puzzle. So I guess the hardest thing was trying to sort of convey all of that stuff without really telegraphing some really big moments and big surprises that are coming down the line, and not playing it too much, especially in those big dinner scenes, I think, where you're trying to play everything underneath the surface and not give too much away. So
Your relationship with more than one character in the show is much more complicated than anyone would imagine from watching the first episode, actually.
Yeah, but I wonder if the audience will sort of figure it out. I believe that they will start to realise quite quickly what is really going on beneath the surface, but hopefully not because of what we've done, but just because they're a good audience and it's there on the page. There's
something about mystery thrillers and whodunits and dinner scenes. They always seem to.
And a policeman
They-
arrives in one of them.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, what's interesting about this show is, in some ways, it's not a whodunit, because we sort of know who's doing it.
Right, we do. Yeah,
In the
true.
opening scene, we know that this person is coming in as an antagonist. So
So it's like, why did he done it?
exactly
Why he did it,
that's
yeah.
good. That's really good English. Why did he done it? What's he gonna do?
Or he was in Manchester University.
Yeah, why have you done it? And
But the rest of the folks around him kind of don't know what's going
Exactly,
on
exactly.
in that regard. The audience knows, but
No,
yeah.
But they may not know the reason why he did it.
right.
earlier.
And also how far it's going to go.
Yeah.
So
That part.
Yeah, and so without giving anything away, at the end of the first episode, Adam's character says something very specific about what he's going to do, and that obviously allows the audience to think, oh, he's going to take this on a real journey. And so we set it up, we kind of tell you what's going to happen, but then you don't know what's going to happen. So it's quite an interesting tension.
Like I said, it was a fun ride. I can't wait for everyone else to see this. Christine, Raza, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to Black Girl Nerds. I appreciate the
Always
conversation.
nice to see you.
Nice to see you again, too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds. Better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds.